The amazing world of Gumball will always bring out fond memories of me changing to Cartoon Network and hoping that it's currently playing. Having to release over 5 seasons and the 7th season recently coming out, I put out a poll of which worst episode of which TV show would you want me to watch, and arguably over 50% of you guys chose Gumball. Now it took me some time to find the worst of the worst, but I think I narrowed it down to 2 episodes. So today we're gonna check out arguably the 2 worst Gumball episodes ever. So please, brace yourselves. Our first episode of the day starts with the dress from season 1 episode 3. If I'm correct. It starts with Gumball and Darwin attempting to slide down the stairs naked, with obviously that, to be honest, it ends badly, or to say at least lightheartedly stupid. While trying to get ready for school, Anais, the little sister, reminds them that they are still naked, so Gumball goes to go find his clothes, but his clothes have shrunk. The reason for this is because his dad was doing the laundry, despite his wife telling him not to. But Richard, the dad, by the way, has a plan, even though it will drastically change the rest of the episode. He gives him his wife's wedding dress. Now, why the dress instead of the wedding suit, and why does it fit Gumball considering the height of his mom and him, baffles me, but I digress. Gumball is a bit unsure about the decision, but decides to wear it anyway, because of his father. And this is where the episode kinda takes a turn. Now, of course, Gumball would hide from people because he's wearing a dress. I mean, who wouldn't if you were in his shoes? But of course, he can't hide for long and gets seen by everyone. But you would think he would get recognized. But instead, everyone just doesn't know him. So that gives him the opportunity to make up a name and just roll with it. Oh yeah, one more thing. Everyone thinks he's a girl now. And if that's not worse, then here's the worst.
Can you believe that, Darwin? Darwin? She dropped her button. Oh boy.
His own brother cannot tell the difference and falls in love with him. My god. Now I'm not gonna lie, it is funny knowing that Darwin thinks Gumball is a girl in that dress, but this episode kinda takes it to the extreme, which makes it uncomfortable for the viewer, such as when Darwin takes her sweat and puts it in a necklace. Now of course this can be, perceived as a visual joke since we know it's Gumball, not an actual girl, but even though it's quite unsettling what Darwin is willing to do when he's infatuated with feelings of love. But anyway, I digress. The episode is plastered together by clips of the school just celebrating Gumball until Darwin confesses his feelings on a roller coaster.
Hey! No, what I really mean is, what? I love you.
To which Gumball is traumatized and thinks about the future, which to be honest is never gonna be possible, but hey, we never know. Gumball comes up with another plan of leaving the place. The plan was going smoothly, but it's Gumball we're talking about, so of course it gets messed up, and a balloon cosplaying the girl pops. Gumball tries to cheer up a very depressed Darwin and tries to tell him to move on, but then the dress falls onto a fire hydrant and Darwin is in love again. And that was the end. Honestly, it's bad, but not much as thought-provoking, unlike our next episode. This episode is called The Robot. Now, this is episode 19 of season 1, I think. I'm not really sure that much. IMDb has not been really updating me with this stuff. So anyway, the episode starts with Bobart, a robot unable to feel like a real boy, since he's a robot. Feeling sad about it? Wait, didn't they just say you couldn't feel emotions? So how can you feel sadness? Anyway, we meet Gumball and Darwin playing with dolls or action figures. They notice that Bobart is feeling low. They try to cheer him up and try to get him to feel like a real human being, even though he's a robot, but then again, I digress. Finally, he's able to feel like a real boy after Gumball said to mimic his movements in order to feel like a real boy. But of course, it works too well because at the night, Bobart says this.
I'm a real boy on the inside, but not on the outside. Initiating transformation.
Okay, so what could go wrong? Everything, because this is where the episode kind of takes a dark turn. Anyway, the next morning we get people complimenting Gumball. Wait, what? Wait, I'm sorry, you're complimenting Gumball? Damn, now you know shit's about to go down. What the hell? Out of all people in Amazing World of Gumball, Gumball is getting complimented? Damn, I might believe Richard getting complimented over Gumball any day. But we later found out that Barbert is playing Gumball after Gumball has been denied one burger because it's one serving per person. Wait, I'm sorry. Why are you giving her this burger when it was already directly in his mouth? Nigga, that's gross, man. Jeez. At least they didn't do the gross animations like SpongeBob usually does. Gumball obviously gets upset about the fact that Barbert is stealing his identity, as rightfully so he confronts him and tells him to stop, and well, from there it just gets worse. When Gumball is trying to get in his home, he's locked out, and instead, guess what? Who's there? Barbert. And the saddest thing is, his family cannot tell the difference. Well, to be honest, I kinda don't blame Darwin. In the last episode, he couldn't even tell the difference between him wearing a dress and him not wearing a dress. So I don't. But his parents, mind you, Barbert is like a robot. So, anyway, whatever. So, LG Gumball just sleeps outside in the cold until the next morning when he confronts Barbert again, but this time he attacks him, which is rightfully so. Anyway, this causes a fight between him and Barbert is trying to destroy him and replace him, while Gumball is just trying to reboot him back to normal. The fight ends anticlimactically with water splashing all over Barbert, causing him to stop. Well, you know what they say, don't mess with water, it's life. And Gumball finally rebooting him back to normal. But at the end, it shows a possible episode where Barbert could possibly play Darwin, but I guess that's a cutaway gag. Now, after to have watched all these episodes, the only logical question I have left to answer, are these actually the worst episodes of Gumball? Sorry for the voice change, I'm a bit sick. Well, yes, I'm not gonna lie, they do showcase a little bit of grossness, but it's not too much, and they do tackle some social issues like child neglect and identity theft, which is kind of thought-provoking given that Barbert is like a robot, but anyway, whatever. Well, for the episode The Dress, it's kind of mid and silly, but the downward scenes are a bit bizarre, especially the sweat one. Oh my god, I would never get that shit out of my head. And overall, uncomfortable for me, since you know they are brothers. But overall, I had a good laugh with the second one, even though it's bad. Seeing how AI and robots are, advanced nowadays, but I get why they're, the worst, and I agree, but they're not really the only ones. So if you want to see, a part 2, comment down below, and comment down your Worst Gumball episode. I'll be releasing a poll for next week to watch, to ask which TV show you want me to see the worst episode for in like September. So yeah, much love, pay attention to the poll. I think I'm gonna release it later this week, but yeah, much love you all guys. I would say like and subscribe, but do whatever you want, guys. I love y'all. Peace. Oh yeah, happy Women's Month.
Like Kakarot, you my chichi, acting like you need me. Talked about the future for me, this ain't just so easy. Seamless how you change, shot right at a range. Forgot I was replaceable, how quickly that you changed. I've been nagging on for a minute, been lost all over my veins. When the shit hit into my days, I lost the only way, bitch, fuck you, go away.